Please turn off the lights, turn up the volume, and focus. This story isn't just horror, it's a true tale of a spirit that refuses to stay silent. Hit like and subscribe, and get ready, because we're about to step into the darkness. I was still gasping for breath in the middle of that altar room. The dim candles cast a faint yellow glow that made the shadows around me seem too dense, but this time, it felt different. Those shadows weren't just dancing, they were staring. Waiting. The whispering sound came back. Clearer this time, as if from behind me. I turned around, but the room was empty. Only cold air pierced my skin, making the hair on my neck stand on end. It felt like hundreds of eyes were watching every move I made. I bent down again to the altar. All the objects on it looked ordinary to the untrained eye, but I'd already felt the dark aura surrounding them. There was a doll with eyes that seemed alive, tattered cloths stained with strange marks, and photos of celebrities that looked normal at first glance, but there was a hidden symbol tucked in the corner of each one. My small hands trembled as I touched one of the cloths. A strange smell wafted up, like a mix of candles, wet earth, and something thicker, harder to explain. I heard footsteps, soft, almost inaudible. My heart thudded wildly, and I spun around fast. No one was there, but when I looked at the shadow in the corner of the room, I saw a figure I could never forget. Yu Menglong. Her face was pale, her eyes red, her hair messy, and her body moved slowly as if holding something incredibly heavy. She stared at me, and I felt a coldness that cut right through to my spine. "Why are you here?" Her voice was soft but pierced through my head. I've tried to be silent, but they're too strong. I froze, barely able to answer. It felt like I was being sucked into her gaze. There was sadness and anger at the same time, like a fire burning but invisible. I swallowed hard and tried to speak. I just wanted to know, what happened to you?" She stared at me longer. The shadows around us shifted, as if listening to our conversation. They used ritual sacrifices for dark magic, for eternal youth, for power. I refuse to be silent, but they're too strong. Don't let them use you too. My body trembled. I felt something trying to creep into my mind, something dark and cunning. I tried to step back, but my feet seemed stuck to the floor. The figure moved a little closer, and I felt an unusually thick coldness. My breath caught, and the whispering grew louder, like thousands of soft but terrifying voices filling my head. I tried to think logically. "This isn't real," I mumbled. "It must be a hallucination. I'm tired. I've heard too many horror stories." But my mind couldn't deny what I was seeing and feeling. Everything around me felt alive, waiting, even begging me to understand the hidden secret. Yu Menglong pointed toward the altar. "They take from the innocent. They believe by using my body, or the body of someone else they catch, they can live longer, stay young. But I refuse. I don't want to be part of their lie. You need to know this before it's too late." I shivered. Her words were clear, but I didn't fully understand. How could humans use others as sacrifices for eternal youth? The thought made my head spin. But on the other hand, my logic reminded me, this wasn't just a regular rumor. There was real dark energy in this room, something that couldn't be explained with common sense. I stepped back slowly, trying to keep my distance. Each step felt heavy, and the whispering grew louder, surrounding my head from every direction. I couldn't tell if the voices were human whispers or the sounds of tormented spirits. I looked back at Yu Menglong again, but her figure was already closer, staring at me with an intensity that almost hurt. "Don't leave, or they'll know you're here," she whispered. Her voice was so close it felt like it was piercing my skin. I swallowed hard, trying to calm down. But fear and curiosity mixed into one. I couldn't just leave, not before I fully understood what was happening tonight. I walked further into the room. In the corner, I saw an old wooden box. It was tightly closed, but there was a strange symbol carved on top, like a pattern of chains and eyes staring at each other. My small hands trembled as I opened it. Inside, there were several objects: small dolls with empty eyes, pieces of cloth, and photos of Yu Menglong that looked different, as if her eyes were staring right into my soul. When I touched one of the photos, the room suddenly changed. The lights flickered, and the cold air grew thicker. I felt something behind me, something big and dark. I turned slowly and saw a tall black shadow standing still in the corner of the room. The figure didn't move, but I felt its evil intent, something that could destroy anyone brave enough to look at it. If you want to know the real secret behind the spirit, support the channel by hitting like and subscribe first. After this part, the mystery will start to unfold piece by piece. Yu Menglong appeared again, clearer this time, more real. She walked toward me, but this time I saw wounds on her body, marks from restraints, traces of a terrifying ritual, dried blood stuck to her hands. And I realized, all of this wasn't just symbols or stories, it was real. She'd become a sacrifice, used by people hungry for power, to gain eternal youth, to hold on to their power in the real world. I bent down, trying to hold my breath. You can't be silent? Why won't they let you go? I asked, my voice barely trembling. Yu Menglong stared at me, tears streaming down her face. I can't. If I'm silent, they'll keep taking others. I've tried to run, but their power is too strong. They can possess, they can manipulate, and I refuse. I don't want to be part of that evil anymore. You need to know, don't let them touch you. I shivered, feeling the cold seep into my bones. My body trembled violently, but curiosity held me back from running. I wanted to understand, to look closer, even if I was afraid of dying from the ghost or the dark energy haunting this museum. Suddenly, a rustling sound came from upstairs. It sounded like someone was walking, but there were no stairs leading to where I was. I looked toward the source of the sound, but only saw an empty room. My flashlight flickered again, making the shadows on the walls dance more wildly. It felt like the whole room was moving, alive, waiting for me to make a decision. Leave or stay here to find out the truth. I decided to go further in. Each step felt heavy, but my instinct said I had to continue. At the end of the room, there was an old wooden door, half open. The smell of candles and wet earth grew stronger. I peered inside and saw more strange objects: melted candles, small dolls, cloths, and photos of celebrities that looked normal, but there was a hidden symbol in the corner of each one. I realized this ritual wasn't just a legend. It was real, and people hungry for power were using others as sacrifices. I bent down, reading the notes in my hand again. Yu Menglong's handwriting seemed alive, as if trying to send her final message, that this world isn't as beautiful as it seems, that there's darkness hidden behind smiles and luxury. That night, I sat on the floor, trying to calm down. It felt like I was surrounded by thousands of eyes staring, judging, and waiting for me to understand this secret. I knew this wasn't just about the museum or the celebrity who died tragically. It was about a truth that dared to be revealed, about a spirit that refused to be silent, and about a dark world that not many people wanted to know about. And as I looked at the notes again, a soft but cold voice sounded in my head. You have to tell the story. Don't let them win. I refuse to be silent, but you can help. I swallowed hard, feeling the tension tightening in my chest. I knew tonight was just the beginning. What I would see next, I didn't know. But one thing was clear. The spirit of Yu Menglong refused to be silent, and I had to follow in her footsteps, even if it meant facing a darkness I'd never imagined before. If you made it all the way to the end, you're braver than you think. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell, because this story isn't over yet. There are still secrets waiting to be uncovered, and you don't want to miss them.